All right, good morning. We got the Evo in the garage. I'm gonna get it jacked up, and we're gonna get to the brakes, and I'm not gonna be powder coating the calipers just yet. I'm still looking for an oven. I thought I had a little easy bake oven, but I guess Sarah sold it a while back, and I obviously never used it and didn't know. So I'm looking for an oven that I can probably big enough that I can do some wheels in the future. And then we're just gonna replace the pads and rotors, and then swap out the oil. The filters are coming via Amazon tomorrow, so I'll probably do that tomorrow, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil and then try to swap out the filter tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. And then I got to top off the fluid in the back for that AYC pump. So let's get to it and have some fun. All right, so I'm gonna do a little montage, or a little time lapse, if you will. I'm gonna go ahead and break loose the lug nuts and then jack the car up, just make it a little easier. So go ahead and enjoy this little time lapse. All right, I got the car jacked up, and man, that was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I don't know, I'm working in a small space, and last time I had this car up in the air, we were over at Stevo's shop with a lift, and I'm really wanting a lift right now. So yeah, I don't know, just kind of taking a little breather, and gonna get these wheels pulled off. I got a little impact, so we already got them cracked, so we're just gonna take the impact, zip the wheels off, or the lug nuts off, take the wheels off, and we're just gonna go ahead and swap out the pads and rotors. So let's get to it. All right, so since I'm already in the trunk, I was getting the parts out. I'll go ahead and top this bad boy off. It was just seeping out just a little bit, and it's almost right at that line, but we're just gonna go ahead and top it off, so that way it's right in there. So, and if you're wondering what kind of fluid that takes, I'm using that Redline D4 ATF. That's what everyone on the forum said to use, so that's what I've been using, and it works great as long as you got all the connections tight. As you can see, we got that topped off. It's right where it should be. All right, so I was thinking, you might be wondering, well, why are you qualified to show me how to replace brakes and all that stuff? That's kind of some important stuff to know how to do. And yes, I am qualified. I teach a small engine repair class, and I've also grown up in motorcycle shops. So although this is a car, the same principles apply. And probably since I was about 7 or 8, I've been working on motorcycles, quads, cars, trucks. So yeah, I've learned by doing it, and I've learned from really high-end Harley certified master mechanics, and I've learned a lot of tips and tricks from them, and so that's one of my passions, is to work on my cars, and sometimes the motorcycles, but I like working on the cars better. Sometimes the motorcycles just drive me nuts because I I did it so much when I was a kid, you know, working in the shops. So, but yeah, that's kind of my background, and I still teach people how to work on engines and a lot of smaller engines, 2-strokes and stuff. But they all go boom inside, and yeah, so it's I don't know, it's fun. I like it. So that's a little bit of my background. So I'm not just some dude, but yeah. So that's kind of my background. I was thinking, you know, you guys are probably wondering, who is this guy, and you know, why is he qualified to teach me? All right, let's get back to pulling these wheels off and getting to the brakes. All right, so I got the wheels off. I'm going to show you guys the rotors and kind of what's going on with those and why I'm replacing them. So let me flip around the camera and show you guys. All right, so this is the driver's side rear. You can see there's a little bit of stuff going on here. So right here you can see obviously the pad's not hitting all of the rotor until it gets a little warm. I only moved this car not that far really at all, but there is a huge lip. I'll see if I can't get a little close up, and nice and crusty, and I think you can kind of get the hang of that lip right over here. All right, here is the front driver's side. You can see this nice groove. They are a 2-piece rotor, but again, we've got that really thick lip, and you can start to see the veins on the inside there. So you see these lines. That's actually the veins back here for the cooling popping through. So that's how far out of spec these are. So yeah, you know, probably not the safest thing to be driving around on that. So that's why I'm replacing them. But you know, I don't know. You know, it all takes money, and as much as I like my toys, it's a love-hate relationship, that's for sure. So, anyways, let's get back to it. I'm gonna get a little water. So typically, whenever I pull the wheels off, if I'm doing anything, I would thread the lug nuts back onto the lugs. But because we're taking the rotors off, we need those lug nuts off. Just in case you were kind of wondering, like, why is he just putting that stuff on the ground? How's he not lose it, you know? So I try to keep everything organized the best I can. And when I can, I try to put the bolts back into the hole that I took them out of. That way you just, you know, it just makes it a lot more simple. So that's a little tip that I've learned over the years. And then, yeah, so while we have these wheels off and we're doing everything, sweat, getting sweaty. So while we've got these wheels off, I'm going to go ahead and rotate them. So the ones that are in the front, I'm going to put in the back, and vice versa. The ones in the back are going to the front. We do have some pretty new wheels on. I think it's only been maybe 5,000 or 7,000 miles, but might as well since we're doing it. So, all right. So I got those bolts broken off, and man, that was a little rough. I had to use a little bit of a cheater bar, so I had to put basically I used a trailer hitch on the end of a 1/2-inch ratchet. It's better to use a breaker bar, but I have no idea where mine went. So. So this is just like a little punch. I'll be honest with you, I inherited this from my mom, who used to work on cars when she was younger. If you notice, it has like a little indent in it. Hopefully, there we go. And this is perfect for the brake calipers that come on the Evo. It's nice and knurled, and it's got a little flat surface for when you're punching stuff. So again, this is why I wanted to powder coat. But this little tool, it like sits right on the tip there because it's got that little indentation, so it doesn't want to walk off and hit the paint. So if you can find one of these, or if you already have one, good on you. But I would think you could find these on Amazon or any kind of tool place. But man, they are just perfect for getting these pins out. So all right, we got 2 bolts on the back side of this caliper. They're going to be a 19 millimeter socket right down here, and right here we're going to pull those bolts off, and you can kind of turn the wheel this way and that way on the front wheels, but the back wheels obviously aren't going to turn, so that might give you a little more leverage for the cracking them off. Also, you'll probably want a little bit of PB Blaster or any kind of penetrating oil, especially if you live in a northern climate like I do. And as you can see, things get a little crusty. One of these starts the car, the other doesn't. All right, so we hit a little snag with the brakes on the Evo. So Sarah and I are headed down to watch our buddy Mickey sing. He does a lot of old school, like Frank Sinatra, stuff like that, so it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna video a little bit of it. It's raining like crazy, and just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up on, you know, what's going on. So I'm waiting for a couple parts to come in. I had to order, and I got to order some new pins, which I already did, but they should be here like Monday or Tuesday. So the Evo project's kind of on hold until tomorrow, just because I didn't want to keep breaking stuff. So I was having a hard time getting the pins out for the brake pads. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on, and just kind of enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again, like and subscribe.
One more for the road, and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight. You're right in front of me, I can't even see. Good.